In 2014, that marks exactly 7 years to the day when I had the vision, and when I was sent out at the end of June and started my little grand tour where I went around to talk. If you guys hear any noise in the background or whatever, that's just the road and stuff and vehicles, but anyways, it can get kind of loud sometimes. But it's, there are alien species, alright? It's fallen angel Nephilim deception. They will take abductions, mix it with animals, and they will create these what look like other species. If you look at their colonies and stuff they have in other parts of the galaxy, they're always small. They'll try to say that it's because they try to keep the population down, but the truth is because they were just relatively starved and they didn't have the time to produce that much for the deception, okay? That's the reason why the colonies are small, in case you're a new age or watching this, alright? So one of the things that was discussed is that there is a fleet of UFOs, thousands of them all over the world, all right? And they're currently cloaked right now for their purpose or whatever because the world can't handle it. They can't see it. They're not ready for it. Blah, 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 typical New Age stuff. The UFOs are waiting for a certain time to come. We know what this time is, all right? They'd be called out if they were showing up now. They got to get the Christians off. They got to get the deception up, all right? So what he said was very important. Remember, let's get back to the alien thing, all right? I want to read something. Earlier on the 8th of December, some head-breaking news came out, all right? This wasn't under or on some sort of secret channel or anything like this. This is mainstream news around the world, all right? Former Israeli space security chief says extraterrestrials exist and Trump knows about it, all right? We already know they do because all of them do. They've all been a part of it the whole time. They just don't tell the public. A galactic federation has been waiting for humans to reach a stage where we'll understand in spaceship what space and spaceships are, says Ahim Eshad, right? That's the head of the space program in Israel that's been working with the U.S. Okay, I'm going to read this real fast. A former Israeli space security chief has sent eyebrows shooting heavenward by saying that Earthlings have been in contact with extraterrestrials from a galactic federation. For those of you who do not know what the Galactic Federation is, if you've ever seen Jupiter Ascending or a movie like that, where there's colonies of other races that are above our planet and everything else, and they all know about us, but they keep it on the down low or whatever. But there's other colonies. It's like Star Wars, you know. There's all kinds of other ones, and we're like the last to know about it. But they've been keeping an eye on us, blah blah blah, and they want to bring us into the fold. But they're waiting for a certain time, which is always the excuse. You know, they're waiting for their time because it's all fallen angel deception. Okay. All right. The identified flying objects have asked not to be published, that they are here. Humanity is not ready yet, like I just said. Ham Eshad, former head of Israel Defense Ministry Directive, told Israelis Yediot Arna newspaper. The interview in Hebrew ran on Friday and gained traction after parts were published in English by the Jerusalem Post on Tuesday. A respected professor and retired General Isha said the aliens were equally curious about humanity and were seeking to understand the fabric of the universe. Yeah, right. Isha said cooperation agreements have been signed between species, including an underground bases in the depths of Mars, where there are astronauts and alien representatives. Let me stop right there. I don't doubt it at all, but we're also on other planets and other galaxies and other places, right? You have no comprehension of how big it is. The secret space program is huge and it's been around for a long time, all right? The whole space program that Trump started is only to usher in that idea, to start to break it to the public, except they will do it at a breakneck speed, kind of like bringing in the vaccine at a breakneck speed instead of taking 11 and 12 years. They've already had it the whole time. They're just waiting for the time to bring it in, okay? There is an agreement between the U.S. and government allies. They signed a contract with us to do experiments here, said. Eshad added that President Donald Trump was aware that extraterrestrials exist and had been on the verge of revealing information, but was asked not to in order to prevent mass hysteria. Another thing I heard back this year in March was that Obama was supposed to come out in 2009 in November. All the major news networks around the world had dedicated 27 minutes to this emergency broadcast where he was going to step on the stage with 5 other alien races and reveal them to the world. They stopped at last minute and decided the public wasn't ready yet. Of course, you know the 2021-2030 agenda is the lineup that we know of in Revelation that happens when all the seals, trumpets, and bowl judgments get released. All right, this is going to be the time when they want to bring the Earth's population down, when it's going to happen and when this is all going to take place. So they are going to show themselves. This is going to happen. It's another fulfillment of the vision, all right? They have been waiting until today for humanity to develop and reach a stage where we will understand in general what space and spaceships are. Elish said, referring to the Galactic Federation. The White House and Israeli officials did not immediately respond to embassy news requests for comment. Sue Goff, a spokesman for the Pentagon, declined to comment. A spokesperson for NASA said one of the agency's key goals was to search life in the universe, but that it had yet to find signs of extraterrestrial life, aka lying. Although we have yet to find signs of extraterrestrial life, NASA exploring the solar system and beyond to help us answer fundamental questions, including whether we're alone in the universe, the spokesperson said in the statement. Eshed ideas are spelled out in more detail in the universe beyond our horizon. Conversations with Professor Yam Eshed by Hagar Yani, published in November. Okay. Right, that's just a little brief over it, but it's in a major news situation here, right? And it's breaking. They're not keeping it a secret anymore. It's coming out more and more. Do I think it's going to get worse before then? Yes, I do. I have no idea what they're going to do just yet. Is it going to be a civil war that breaks loose? Possibly so. Will 2/3 of Americans be dead by next fall? There's totally a possibility to it. Like I said, the Deagle report has been out for almost 10 years. The people have asked multiple times, why is 80% to 90% of the U.S.'s population dead by 2025? And with no answer. This is the reason why, because they're going to do it. They're going to bring it in. And all the stuff that's happening right now, they're only putting it in play for the whole thing. Well, and I'm only pointing it out, and I just kind of wanted to go over it again, especially with the UFO thing. It's really unfolded. The footage is coming on Fox News. More and more of major news networks are actually spilling the beans on and talking about it. It will come out. It is actually going to happen. Will that happen before the major event when they show themselves? That's yet to be determined. All I know is what I saw, and it was totally real. It's not going to be no Project Bluebeam. I've already told you guys before, Project Bluebeam is a cover-up for any of the real stuff, because it's not fake at all. You don't need to put a holographic image up. They have the technology. They actually do have the UFOs that are gigantic. You don't need to fake any sort of alien invasion. It actually will be an alien invasion. It's like the real deal, right? They have all this stuff for it. But just a little something I wanted to go over that I wanted to talk about on this video. Now, thousands of people around the world about what I've seen, what I know, and give my testimony the best that I can. I've left so many different things. I've talked about every single discussion I possibly can. There is nothing that's too taboo for me. I will talk about all of it. It's no problem at all, as long as it helps people. I don't like to go back over the same stuff, but I do go over some of the stuff that's really important multiple times, including the once saved, always saved, which is the most fake teaching there possibly is. Those leaders will lead you to hell. Do not follow them, okay? Alright, this is just an update. It's the third vision update, and I hope that it helps, but it's really pointing in that direction. I do think that it's coming up this spring. I really think that it's going to actually happen. It all will fulfill perfectly right into its time, and also Israel's timeline. If it doesn't, you know what? We take it from there, but for right now, I'm totally looking at this with 100% like possibility that this is actually going to happen. I sure hope that it does. I've been waiting.